Good morning. It is Saturday, and this is your Lockdown Live number 35. Welcome to the weekend officially. I know I said that yesterday, but today is definitely the weekend. Maybe not if you're working, okay? And I'm working, so people have to work. We're going to we're going to kind of do a roundup today of all of the thinking styles that we've looked at over the week. I like Saturdays as a roundup because it reminds us, when you read a book, just make sure my phone's on silent. It's not. When you read a book and it feels like it repeats the message over and over again. The reason it does that is because sometimes when we hear something the first time, or we just hear it once, it doesn't sink into our minds. So sometimes when we repeat, there's more chance of information going in. Welcome to home radio listeners. Home radio can be accessed on, it is a DAB digital radio platform. It can be accessed on Alexa. You just say enable Alexa, and no, you don't say that, you say Alexa, enable home radio, and she'll find it for you. Or you can get it on www.homeradio.co.uk, or there's two apps, one on Android and one on iOS. So go along and listen. Let's start with black and white thinking. Black and white thinking is very polarized. It is here and here. The other way to think about black and white thinking is good and bad. We learn it in childhood, as we learn everything in childhood. And it stops us from seeing the nuance. And the nuance is, if everything's good and everything's bad, then maybe sometimes things are just okay, or they're fine, or words like that sit in the middle, but not here and here. It misses out the massive bit in the middle, which is like I call it the grey area, but I love grey as a colour. But I know grey can sometimes be viewed from society as a little bit wishy-washy. It's not. It's not wishy-washy. There's a lot of beauty in that grey area right there. So black and white thinking, consider, are you all good or bad? Bad, bad, bad. Good, good, good. Definitely we learn that in childhood. So another example of that is joy is really, really happy, really, really sad. And actually what we want is, or what would be a nice place to be, is contentment in the middle, which is like in the middle of that part there. That came out on Wednesday when we did the Wellness Wednesday. We were looking at happiness. We looked at happiness on Wednesday. It can hold you back from success, because I don't know, if you don't do something so well, then you say things like, "Oh, I'm no good at leadership. You weren't good at leadership in that particular scenario or in that particular situation, but that doesn't mean that you're not good at leadership. It can hold you back from relationships, because if you're mismatched with somebody and you have a poor experience in a relationship, then again, and if you black and white think and you go, I'm bad at relationships, but you're not. It was just in that particular instance, it didn't work. Yeah. Shoulds. I love shoulds. I said it the other day, whenever I hear a should in therapy, I always go, "Oh, where did that should come from?" So for me, shoulds come from two direct sources. Let's say one is society. So as a man, I should be married to a woman. As a man, I should be doing a certain list of things to fit in with to fit in line with my gender as perceived by the world around us. Yeah. What else could we say for shoulds? So two directions. The other place we can learn shoulds from is from the people around us when we're younger, again. But a lot of it does come from society. There's a lot of expectations in society that place shoulds on us. The other thing about shoulds is, if we don't do something and we start using the word should and could, then all of a sudden we're kind of dipping into the world of guilt and shame, because because we didn't achieve something or because we didn't do something. And we never want to be dipping into that place there. We never want to be dipping into the world of guilt or shame, because that is just not good for us. Okay. Another one we looked at was labeling. Labeling, I believe, comes from a place of safety. So if we label something or somebody as quickly as we can, unconsciously in our mind, we call that unconscious bias, then it allows our mind to feel safe. So I don't know, for example, seeing somebody on the street and being able to unconsciously, we don't do this consciously, we don't look at a person and go, okay, that's a man of a certain age, of a certain build. We don't do that, but unconsciously our mind is so busy trying to keep us safe that it will make these unconscious biased. And if it can't pin something, I don't know, like gender or race, if it can't pin something, then all of a sudden the mind starts getting a little bit edgy. But it's not good for us, and that's where our desire for labeling comes from. It comes from a level of safety, but we don't really need it. And if we can be conscious of it, then we can let it pass us by. The other one was overgeneralizing. I always, you always. And again, if we overgeneralize like that, because I don't know, because you knocked a glass off the table, and therefore you go, I'm just really clumsy. You're not really clumsy. You knocked a glass off a table once, just once. That does not make you clumsy. Even if you do something that is slightly clumsy 2 or 3 times, it still doesn't make you clumsy. It just means that you might have had a bad run. So when we use phrases like I always and you always, then we are overgeneralizing, and again we're missing the nuance or holding ourselves back. And that's the part that really worries me, that we are potentially holding ourselves back. Because if we hold ourselves back, then we're not growing and we're not striving, and that's what I want for all of you beautiful people. Action for Happiness calendar. Make a plan to connect with others and do something fun. As I was writing this one down, I realized that it was really hard to connect with others at the minute. Maybe things will change on Monday, maybe they don't. I have no idea. But you can connect. You can be out walking with another person, and you can definitely connect online. And I know I've spoken about this, and I know that it doesn't fit with a lot of people, but somebody told me the other day that there was an online escape room, which sounded quite good. I haven't looked at it myself, but I definitely will look at it. I said the other day that sometimes we'll meet people on a Saturday night and have dinner together, just via Zoom. It can be fun. It can be fun. You arrange a time that you're all going to sit down together. You turn on the Zoom, make it all happen, and it can just be fun. It can be a laugh. So I encourage you to do that. I know it's not our normal way of doing things, but it can just hit the mark sometimes in terms of connecting and being there with other people whilst you're kind of going, what are you having for dinner tonight? And how's your week been? And all of those other things. So please try and connect with people. Make a plan and do something with us. I know that loads of people are doing online quizzes. There's games you can do. There was one that we were doing where you drew something. I'm sure that somebody will write this into the feed for me. So you all go onto the same app at the same time. You're on Zoom, and then you do this like round robin with. It's like a little bit like Pictionary. Again, it can just be fun. Think outside the box a little bit. Think outside the box, but please connect with people, because that part's really important. Okay, so black and white thinking, catastrophizing, shoulds, labeling, overgeneralizing, all of those are just really unhelpful thinking styles. So please, I think I'm going to sneeze. Please have a consideration around how you're thinking, and then ask yourself, is this healthy or is this helpful to me right now, thinking in this way? Okay, and then come up with your own answers. If you're cool with your thinking styles, then that's great, and I'm really happy for you. That's it. I'm going to go. It is it is Saturday. It is the weekend, so I'm going to wish you an absolutely amazing weekend. I'll be back on Tuesday with Lockdown Live number 36. By that time, we will have a little bit of news on what's happening in our beautiful country, and we're going to take things from there. Okay, but please have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Be kind to yourself. Get outside, because it looks quite dry at the moment. Have some really long walks in the fresh air. Do loads of stuff that you love doing. Be kind to yourself, yeah? And be kind to everybody around you. Okay, love and peace. Bye-bye.